Hello students, in previous class we already discussed about how a magnetic force acts on a current carrying conductor which is placed in an external magnetic field, clear, and how there are two parallel infinitely long straight current carrying conductor experience force when the direction of current along both the conductors are same, they will attract each other, and when the direction of current are in opposite direction, they will repel each other. So today we are going to discuss about when a current carrying coil is placed in an external magnetic field, how it will behave. Okay, so let us discuss. In last class we already discussed that if there is an external magnetic field which is acting into the plane, and here is a current carrying conductor. This is a current carrying conductor of length L in which current I is flowing in this direction. So the magnetic force experienced by this current carrying conductor is given as I into L cross B. We have already studied about this expression and we already derived this formula, how a current carrying conductor of length L, where L is the displacement vector along the direction of current flowing through the current carrying conductor, and B is the direction of magnetic field strength, that is B here into the plane. So the magnetic force acting on it due to the external magnetic field is this much. We already discussed about it. But what will happen if in place of a current carrying conductor there is a complete current carrying loop or coil? So let's study about that. So let's now discuss how a complete current carrying coil will behave when it will be inside an external magnetic field. So just imagine that if here is an external magnetic field which is acting into the plane of strength B and a complete current carrying coil placed over here which carry current like this I, okay, and length, this is L and this is also L. So how this current carrying loop will behave when it is placed in an external magnetic field B of strength which is acting inward? So just name this as P, Q, R, S. So in this current carrying coil P, Q, R, S, we can split it into four different current carrying conductors: PS, PQ, QR and RS. So if I am considering the PQ current carrying conductor of length L same as that of RS, the current is flowing in upward direction and it is placed in the magnetic field of strength B which is acting inward. So by right hand palm rule like this, a force, magnetic force acting along this direction, and the angle between current or length element L vector and B vector is 90 degrees. So force F, M equal to I L B, which is acting towards left. Here similarly the current is flowing in Q to R direction, that is from left to right. So if I am threading my thumb along this direction and fingers of the right hand along the direction of B, the force shows the palm, this will be along this direction same. Its magnetic field strength Fm equal to how much? Current I is flowing through this, length is L also same as that of PS, magnetic field I L B. Similarly for this, the direction is downward by the thumb, magnetic field is into the plane, the palm will show the direction of force, that is here Fm, the magnitude is same ILB. Here the current is flowing towards right to left, magnetic field is into the plane, so the direction of palm will show the direction of force, that is Fm, which is equal to again ILB. So from this we get that when a current carrying conductor loop is present in an external magnetic field, the net force acting on it is 0. Clear? these two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, and these two forces are also equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So we have to remember here that if a current carrying loop is present in an external, you have to remember, uniform magnetic field, then net force acting on the loop, then net magnetic force acting on the loop is 0. You have to remember that if a current carrying loop is present in an external uniform magnetic field, then net force acting on the loop is 0. You have to remember this factor, uniform. If the field is not uniform, then all the forces have different values, because all the force depends upon the strength of the magnetic field. If here the magnetic field is somewhat different from the magnetic field at this position, then these two forces will not cancel each other. Similarly, at this place the magnetic field have some values and here the magnetic field has some values, then also these two forces will never cancel each other. So only when a current carrying loop is present in an external magnetic field and that magnetic field is uniform, that means each and every point the strength and direction of the magnetic field is constant or same, then only the net force acting on the current carrying loop is 0. But the force acts on a segment or part of a current carrying loop is not 0. Net force, the sum of all the forces, is 0, but individually if I am considering this segment, so at this segment the net force acting on it is not 0. Here the force acting on it is this ILB, and for this portion the force will be this one, but the net force acting on the complete loop is 0 if the loop or current carrying coil is present in an uniform external magnetic field. Clear? So it is concluded that when a complete current carrying loop or coil is present in an external uniform magnetic field, the net force acting on it is 0. But individually if I am considering about some portion of the current carrying loop, then the force acting on it is not 0. Clear? So as we studied now that the net force acting on a current carrying loop in an external uniform magnetic field is 0, but still there is some possibilities that the net torque acting on the current carrying loop in an external magnetic field is may or may not be 0. So now we have to find out what is the value of torque acting on a current carrying coil in an external magnetic field. Torque acting on a current carrying loop in an the torque acting on a current carrying loop placed in an external uniform magnetic field. Okay, so let's consider here is a horizontal magnetic field which is directed from left to right of strength B. Okay, and we are considering a loop, rectangular loop, which is at any instant present like this. Okay, this is a current carrying loop. Okay, and it carries current along this direction. Clear? So, when there is a current carrying loop, named it as P, Q, R, S. So here is a current carrying rectangular loop PQRS which is present in an external magnetic field B, which is acting horizontally from left to right. So this end must be north pole and this end must be south pole. Clear? And the length of the current carrying loop from P to Q is L and the width is B. From Q to R, similarly this will be B, and from R to S this end will be L. Clear? So let at any instant of time the current carrying rectangular loop makes an angle theta with the direction of external magnetic field. Here this angle is in between the plane of the rectangular loop and the direction of external magnetic field. Clear? This angle theta is in between the plane and the external magnetic field. Okay, can you understand? This is like this. If this is the current carrying rectangular loop, okay, like this is a current carrying rectangular loop and the magnetic fields are like this. So at any instant the loop is just like this. Okay, it makes an angle theta when we see from the upside with the direction of external magnetic field which are from left to right present like this. Clear? This is the current carrying loop P, Q, R, S, and here is the horizontal magnetic field. The angle between the direction of horizontal magnetic field and the plane makes an angle how much? Theta at any given instant. Okay, clear? So if this is the angle between the magnetic field lines and the plane of the rectangular loop is how much? Theta. Then we know what is the area vector of this rectangular loop, that is perpendicular to its plane. So this will be the area vector. If the field lines makes an angle theta with the plane of the rectangular loop, then what will be the angle between the field lines and the area vector? As the area vector makes an angle 90 with the plane, then if the field lines are makes an angle theta with the plane, then the angle between field lines and area vector will be 90 minus theta. Clear? Because area vector, this is area vector which makes an angle 90 with the plane of the rectangular loop, and the field lines are makes an angle theta with the plane of the rectangular loop, then the angle between the area vector and field lines will be how much? 90 minus theta. Clear? So now just consider about this rectangular loop which is have length L and width B and carrying current in clockwise sense. Okay, and at any instant the plane of the rectangular loop makes an angle theta with the direction of external magnetic field. So now we can split this rectangular current carrying loop into 4 current carrying conductors PQ, QR, RS and PS. Clear? So here we can write the rectangular loop PQRS can be divided into 4 long straight current carrying conductors named as PQ, QR, RS and SP. So the complete loop can be split into 4 long straight current carrying conductors, okay, which is placed in an external magnetic field of strength B, which is acting horizontally. So now we can easily find out the force acting on the current carrying conductor PQ will be how much. If I am considering this segment only, the net force acting on the complete loop is 0. We already discussed about it in previous this thing, that if a current carrying loop is present in an external uniform magnetic field, as here the magnetic field strength at each and every point is same, so this is a uniform external magnetic field, so the net force acting on this loop will be 0, but individually for each segment the force is not 0. So what is the force acting on this segment PQ? It will be the current carrying by the conductor I, as here is the current flowing, let I is the current which is flowing through the conductor. So I, what is the length? L, what is the magnetic field strength? That is B, and what is the angle between magnetic field strength and the length vector, which is along the direction of current. Here this is the direction of current I, and this is the direction of magnetic field strength B. So what is the angle between these two? It is 90. So it will be ILB sin 90, which equal to how much? FPQ equal to ILB. Let it be equation 1, and its direction we can easily obtain by using right hand palm rule or Fleming's left hand rule. So what is right hand palm rule? I am placing my thumb along the direction of current and stretching the finger along the direction of magnetic field like this. So the force acting on this conductor will be into the plane. So here the force acting on it will be like this. This is into the plane. FPQ. Clear? Okay. Similarly, if I am considering the current carrying conductor RS, which is similar to that of PQ, but carrying current in opposite direction, length is same L, B direction is same, but here the current is in opposite direction. So for this, the magnitude will be remain same, but the direction of force will be opposite to that of PQ, because at this position the current is moving downward, the magnetic field is along this direction, so the palm is outward. So at this point the force acting on the current carrying conductor RS will be outward. This is F of RS. Clear? Similarly, for force acting on RS will be equal to how much? Again current flowing through it is I, length of the current carrying conductor is L, and magnetic field strength is again same B, and angle again, this is the L length and this is the magnetic field strength 90, so it will be again sin 90, which one can be written as F, which will become how much? ILB. Clear? Again this is the direction is by right hand palm rule, or if you are using the Fleming's left hand rule, this is the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of current, this will show the direction of force outward. So here it will be out of the plane, here it will be into the plane. Clear? Similarly, for again for the conductor PS, what is the force acting on the conductor PS? Current flowing through it is I, length of this conductor will be how much? Width of the loop, that is B, magnetic field strength again capital B, and what is the angle between this segment and magnetic field strength? As I already told you that at this instant the plane of the current carrying loop makes an angle theta with the direction of what? magnetic field lines. So this angle here, this is the direction of magnetic field. This is the angle. It will be how much? Theta. As here this is theta, so it will be sin theta. Okay, and what will be its direction? By using right hand thumb rule or palm rule, L is along this direction, F is along this direction, like this. F is along this direction, L is along this direction. So palm is into this. So here the force will act along this direction. Okay, downward. Clear? The force is acting downward. Okay, so now the last segment, QR. What is the force acting on the segment QR? Again, current flowing through it is I. Length of this current carrying conductor will be same as that of width of the current carrying loop, B. Magnetic field strength is B, and again the angle between field direction and length, which is along the current flowing through the conductor, will be theta, will be sin theta. And its direction, putting the thumb along the current carrying direction and like this, and finger along here. It's a three-dimensional figure. We are going like here like this. So here the force will be how much? Acting upward, or we can place it like this. This is the direction and it will go into the plane. This segment is going into the plane. So here will be the magnetic field strength like this, and this is the current carrying conductor will be like this. Okay, so the force acting on it will be, this is the magnetic field direction. Here the hand will be like this. This is the direction of magnetic field. The current will be into the plane, so the force will be acting on this point towards upward direction. Okay, F on Q R. So these two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Clear? Understood? Or let me show you. This is the current carrying loop. Here current flows into this direction, so I am putting my thumb like this. Okay, and the magnetic field are horizontal along this direction, so it will be inward, and here the current is flowing in this direction like this, and the magnetic field is horizontal, so it will be, here the magnetic force will be into downward and here it will be upward. Okay, here the magnetic force will be acting downward and here the force will acting upward. This is F on QR, this is F on RS. Clear? As we saw, this is the current carrying loop. Here the current flowing like this. The magnetic field is along this direction. So if I am putting the thumb along the direction of length and fingers along the direction of magnetic field, force will be downward, and here the current goes like this. So putting my thumb along this direction and finger along the direction of horizontal force like this, the force will be upward. Similarly, we can show it by using left hand, Fleming's left hand rule. Field direction like this, current flowing along this conductor will be like this, force will be again downward, and at this the force will be again, current goes like this, field is like this, current goes like this, so the thumb will show force upward. So here the force acting downward and here the force acting upward. Clear? So from these four forces, PQ, the force acting on PQ segment, the force acting on RS segment, both are equal in magnitude. That is ILB, these two forces are equal in magnitude. I will be acting in opposite direction. One is into the plane, another one is out of the plane. Similarly, the force acting on PS and QR both are also equal in magnitude and acting in opposite direction. This force PRS, this is not downward, as I show you already, it's acting upward, and this force is acting downward. Clear? Okay. So now you can easily find out the direction of the four forces. Here the force is acting upward, current is flowing along this direction. So if I am putting my thumb along this direction and the magnetic like this, and the magnetic field are horizontal direction, so the force will be along the palm, and here current flowing along this direction like this, and the field is along this direction horizontally, so palm will be downward, the force will be downward. Okay. So these two forces, from these four forces, from equation 1 to 4, the force acting on the QR segment and the force acting on PS segment both are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, and acts along same line of action. So these two forces will get cancelled. Okay, the force F on QR and F on PS are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Okay, and acts along same line of action. Same line of action. So they cancel each other. Okay, but the force on PQ and force on RS are acting along different line of action. As here the force is acting into the plane and here the force is acting out of the plane like this. One force is into the plane and one force is out of the plane like this. So they will constitute a torque. Due to these two forces, one is acting like this and another one is acting like this. So they will not cancel each other. They will constitute a couple, due to which there will be a turning effect or a torque is produced on the current carrying loop. Clear? But PQ and RS are acting along different line of action, so they produce a torque. So they produce a torque. They will not cancel each other. Okay, so I am showing here the force PQ will acting like this into the plane, and this is the width of the loop B, and the next force is acting out of the plane like this, RS. Clear? And this length, width of the loop is B. Okay, so what is the perpendicular distance between these two forces? This is PQ, which is acting into the plane, this is RS, which is acting out of the plane, and this is the length of the loop B. So what is the perpendicular distance between these two forces? This will be the perpendicular distance. If this is B, this angle will be theta, it will be B cos theta. So we know torque equal to how much? Tau equal to either force into perpendicular distance between them. Here we can calculate the torque of these two forces about any axis of rotation or about any point, because the net force acting on this loop is 0. So when the net force acting on a body is 0, then the torque due to any of the pair of the force which are able to produce a turning effect can be calculated by about any point. Clear? So here we can calculate the torque about any point, but it will be easy if I am calculating the torque about this point or this point, because if I am calculating the torque about any of these 2 points, then the force which is passing through this point or this point will get cancelled. So I have to calculate the torque only because of one single force, either PQ or RS. So that's why the perpendicular distance between these two forces will be cos theta. That means I am calculating the torque about either this point or this point. Clear? So what will be the either force into perpendicular distance between them? So it will be how much? What is the value of PQ and RS? Both F on PQ and F on RS have equal magnitude, that is ILB. So it will be ILB into what is the perpendicular distance. This is the width of the loop and this is the perpendicular distance, which will be B cos theta. And theta is what? The angle between the plane and the magnetic field strength. So the tau will be ILBB cos theta. And from this equation, let it be equation 5. From this equation we can easily obtain that here the L and the B, these two are, this is the length of the loop and this is the width of the loop. So length into width will give us what? Area of the rectangular loop. So this equation can be written as tau equal to I B A cos theta. Equation 6. So this will be the expression for torque acting on a rectangular current carrying loop placed in an external magnetic field of strength B, carrying current I, and cross sectional area is A, and theta is the angle between the plane of the current carrying loop and magnetic field strength. If there are, this is due to a single turn of the loop. If there are n number of turns, then what will be the net torque? If n number of turns are there, then the net torque will be tau equal to NIBA cos theta, where theta is the angle between the plane of the loop and magnetic field strength. Clear? And I already told you that if alpha is the angle made by the area vector with the magnetic field strength direction, then we can write theta 90 minus theta will be equal to what? Alpha, because theta is the angle made by the magnetic field with the plane of the current carrying loop, and alpha is what? Alpha is the angle made by the area vector with the magnetic field, and we already know that the area vector is perpendicular to the plane. So if area vector makes an angle alpha with the direction of magnetic field and the plane makes an angle theta with the direction of magnetic field, so what is the relation? They are complement to each other. So 90 minus theta will be alpha. So this implies theta equal to 90 minus alpha. So cos theta equal to sin alpha, where alpha is angle between the area vector of the plane and magnetic field strength direction, and theta is the angle between plane of the current carrying loop and magnetic field strength direction. Clear? So this will be the expression for torque in terms of angle between plane of the current carrying loop and magnetic field strength, and if we replace theta in terms of the alpha, which will be the direction angle between the area vector and magnetic field strength, the expression will become how much? In place of cos theta we can write sin alpha, so the torque will become how much? Tau equal to NIBA sin alpha, or this can be written as tau vector equal to, if I am writing what is NIA, here the term NIA is what? We already discussed about it. NIA, N into I into A. We already know that I into A, current flowing through the loop into cross sectional area of the loop, will represent what? The magnetic dipole moment, and N is the number of turns, so this is the net magnetic dipole moment, which is represented as capital M. So NIA will become capital M, so it will become what? M B sin alpha, or this can be mod of it, and in vector form it will be M vector cross B vector. Clear? Where here you can write here IA is the total dipole moment, magnetic dipole moment, M of the current carrying loop. Clear? So torque will become M cross B. If alpha is angle between area vector and the magnetic field strength, if alpha is 0, that means the angle between area vector and magnetic field strength is 0, then torque acting on it will be 0. If area vector is along the direction of magnetic field, like this is the current carrying loop, area vector is always perpendicular to it, like this. If the angle between area vector and magnetic field are along left to right direction, the area vector will be parallel to this, so angle between area vector and magnetic field is 0. So what is the torque acting on it? 0. Clear? Sin alpha equal to the area angle between area vector and magnetic field strength, it will be 0 when it is 90 degree, like this. This is the magnet area vector and the magnetic field lines are along this direction, so the torque will be maximum. Okay, so if alpha equal to 0, tau equal sin alpha equal to sin 0 equal to 0, tau equal to 0. If alpha equal to 90, sin alpha equal to 1, tau equal to MB maximum. Okay, and for any angle alpha, this is the expression. Clear? So this is how we can calculate the torque acting on a current carrying rectangular loop present in an external magnetic field. Clear?